Tell me, what negative emotions do you feel about money? I know. I know you have them. Maybe one, maybe two, maybe you have all four. There are four, I would say, common or top negative emotions that I see in my practice that people have about money. And I'm wondering which one, or two, or three, or four, or maybe even more that you have. Oh my God, that rhymed. But I want to welcome you. Thank you, and welcome to the More Than Therapy community. If you are here, it's because maybe you have some negative emotions about money, and I think it's about time that we address them. Now, this More Than Therapy community is open to any, every, all service based business owners, and it's free. So I'm glad you're here. Take full advantage of everything I give you. But right now, let's talk about the negative emotions you have about money. If you don't know who I am already, let me tell you. I am Kanae Corder, National Certified Counselor, specializing in financial therapy. Now, I really work with one-on-one and in my paid group with financial advisors and private practice business owners who want to go from mildly successful to wildly successful by adding financial therapy to their practice. Is that you? Then you really need to be in here. But let's talk about the negative emotions you have about money. First, I'm going to pour into you as much information as I can, and then you'll see if this group is right for you. And if it is, I look so forward to seeing you in the group because today, if you're watching this as it's live, I am going to go live in the community teaching my financial therapy for business success class. I go live in the community every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I go live and I talk about financial therapy for business success. It's free. I do it 8 weeks straight, bunch of information that will get you on the right path to creating your idea of prosperity. Now, you may be saying, I don't know what that is yet. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you know what it is you want. Doesn't matter. I know a lot of times people think they have to know something before they join the community, but you don't, because I'm going to pour into you. And guess what? Everybody there wants knowledge. So don't be ashamed of wanting knowledge yourself. All right, now that I put that out there, what are we talking about today? Negative emotions you feel about money. Put them in the chat. Tell me. Comment. Even if you're not watching this live, tell me what are the top two? Just give me two. What are the top two negative emotions you feel about money? Now, you might want to talk about the positive ones. And believe me, I want to hear them. But the reason why I don't want to hear them right now is because I want to give you some solutions and I want to kind of tell you why you're feeling that. And so you can get to your next level of financial success. Because if you're doing some things great, absolutely celebrate that. That is your money mentality. And when you're in your money mentality, you're going to be doing some things really well and you're going to be doing some things not so well. Great. I want you to put a lot of focus on the things you're doing well. And then I want you to get a guide like me to either help you delegate the things you're not doing well, learn a different way to do the things you're not doing well better, um, or delete them. We'll talk about all of that in the community right now. Let's talk about the top four negative emotions that people feel about money. When I say people, I'm specifically talking about service based business owners. So if you are a financial advisor, if you are a therapist, if you are a doctor, if you are a hairstylist, if you are a personal trainer, I'm talking to you. Number one, desperation. Two, guilt. Three, greed. Four, shame. Have you felt any of these? Yes, I know at some point you did. Now, whether you're willing to admit it or not, that's a different thing. by the end of this video, you might be willing to admit it. Maybe you are ashamed and that's why you're not admitting it. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Did I strike a chord? But let's break each one down, starting with desperation. Now, desperation might look like you're trying to charge the highest price possible because you see other people charging high prices. So you're like, well, maybe that should be my price. So you turn up the pricing and you're like, yes, my price is $10,000 a month if you want to work with me. Oh, my price is, maybe $1,000 is considered high for you. You turn up the pricing and you go as high as you possibly can. And it actually doesn't feel really good to you. There's some negative emotion around it, but you do it because you're desperate. You have to make some money. It's been a long time since you made some and you need some and you need it now. So you turn up the pricing. Been there? Yes, we've all been there as service-based business owners. You're like, I don't know what my pricing should be, but that person's price looks right. Yeah, let me do that. And then you're like, oh, and I really need some money and I need it now. So I'm going as high as I possibly can. Been there? Yeah, put it in the chat. You're not alone. I promise you, you're not. But then what happens? So sometimes you feel that desperation and then it triggers some guilt because you did go to a higher price, but then you're like, I don't even know where that price came from. So you lower your price and then you're like, was that the right thing to do? Sometimes this happens, but sometimes the greed happens after the desperation. So the greed comes and then you try to like justify the price. Now, sometimes you justify the price by like getting more certifications and, spending more money. You actually spend more money so that because you think spending money is going to get you to make money. Sometimes the greed shows up by you doing a lot of work, working hard for the money. Sometimes the greed shows up and you feel like you have to give, right? Oh, I have to give a lot. In order for this price to be $10,000, that means I have to be available on call 24 hours a day. Not true, but that's how it feels, right? So you feel that greed, and then that greed kicks in. Sometimes it triggers the guilt, and then you'll end up lowering the price. Have you experienced that? I'm sure. Yeah. So then you lower the price, as I talked about before, because you feel the guilt. And then that kind of triggers the desperation again. So you see how all of these are connected. And then sometimes what happens is that you trigger shame. And what happens with shame is that you'll delay talking about the price. You're like, I better not talk about that. How much is the price? We'll talk about that later. You don't need to know the price. Let's just get in here and get this work done. Come on in here, right? You don't want to talk about the price. You have this fear around talking about the price and shame, because you know why you feel shame? Because you're confused. You don't even know what your price is. Your price is based on somebody else's price, or your price is based on what feels right in the moment because of the amount of bills you have. What the price might be based on what might be working, what used to work before. You might have old pricing from the 90s. You may have pricing from the pandemic still running. No, get rid of that pandemic pricing. You're not in a pandemic anymore. And in fact, there's been a hell of a lot of inflation. So your expenses in your business might have gone up. The products you use, the vendors you use, even your internet has probably gone up. Dang, you're right, Kanae. I know. So I'm just saying we are going to talk about this today. So earlier in this video, I mentioned that I am going live today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do this on Tuesdays, but the first Tuesday of the month, I talk about pricing. Now I'm going to talk about a different topic. Remember, you're getting 8 weeks of free financial therapy. And if you are a service-based business owner, this is going to change your life and it's going to change your business, because you're going to change your pricing. You're going to change the people you serve. You're going to change the way you talk about what you offer them. You're going to change the products you have. You might have more products or services, and some of them are going to be passive. You're going to make money in your sleep. But you're also going to look internally. So I'm going to have you look at some of the things that are external. I'm going to have you look at things internal in your business, but I want you to look at things that are internal to you. You have to be at the top of your game mentally, emotionally. You have to be there physically, spiritually. And if you're not, then you're not going to be able to serve. So the other 4 weeks, we talk about your health. We talk about the adventure you want in your life. We talk about the love, your relationships. And we also talk about the legacy you want to leave, the way you want to be remembered. So, if 8 weeks of free financial therapy sounds good to you, then you know what I want you to do? That rhymed. Join the class and the community. So, see, here's what's happening. When you go to www, yes, you do have to put that W in there. I know, what is this, 95? Yes, I guess, because somehow, for some reason, if you just put in presidentiallifestyle.com, you will not go where I want you to go. So www.presidentiallifestyle.com. It will take you to my website. There'll be an orange button there that says join the class free. When you click that button and give me your best email address, what's going to happen is that you and I will now be in a class together, the class that I teach every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're not available at that time, that is okay, because there will be a recording. But if you're not available at that time right now, you can change your schedule so that you then become available at 4 p.m. Eastern Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays, because schedules change. And this is some important information. And it's 8 weeks of free financial therapy. So you really just only have to change your schedule for 8 weeks. And once you get it all, you can go back to doing whatever you were doing on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What time? Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, okay. Did you say Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? I did. You're so good at this. You listen really well. Anyway, I'm being silly. I guess you got that. And that could be annoying. And if it is, then you probably are not right for this community, because I have a particular type of sense of humor. And a lot of it has to do with me thinking I'm funny and laughing at my own jokes and rhyming. Oh, yeah, I like to rhyme. Yeah, I used to be a poet. Did it? Tell you about that later. It was a long time ago. It was the 90s. Yeah, but I was good. I was on Def Poetry Jam. But there's so much more for me to tell you. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to give you 8 weeks of free financial therapy. And we are going to journey together to determine your pricing, your community, your niche, your products, your health, your adventure, your love, your legacy. It's going to be so great. All right. So what should you do? You should click the link in the description of this video, or you can put in www.presidentiallifestyle.com. Go to the website, see the orange button that says join the class, click that orange button, give me your best email address. And when you do that, not only do you get the free class, you also get added to the community. So how awesome is that? You do one thing and I do two things for you. Already, you see how I'm pouring into you. Already, you see how generous I am. You do one thing and I do two things. Is that a fair, even exchange? No, it is not. That is you doing one thing, me doing two things. What does that mean? That I am doing more. I like to do more for you. Why? Because you do so much for so many different people. You have given so much of yourself. It is time for you to receive. And I know that is the hardest thing for a service-based business owner to do. You're not that great at receiving, but I'm going to show you how to get better at it. I'm going to show you how to get so good at it that you no longer even have to work. It just comes to you. Oh, shoot. I know. I shouldn't have told you that, because now you don't believe me. You're like, what? It's impossible. You got to work hard for money. Oh, that's programming, hon. That's programming, and it's got to go. And that's part of what we do in the Financial Therapy Challenge. I can't erase all your programming in 8 weeks. No, I'm not going to lie to you. I know you've been lied to a lot, right? You've been a part of this. You've watched webinars, you've gone to master classes, you've even paid coaches, and you've been lied to. And I'm not going to lie to you. In 8 weeks, your life will be different. Your business will be different. Things will have changed for you. I guarantee it. If you do what I say, of course, that is a caveat. You have to do what I say. I know you don't like that, but I'm telling you, if you do what I say, then your life and your business will change. Will there be more changes that need to happen? Yes, there will. So you might have to do a different kind of commitment after the 8 weeks, or you don't have to. You can stay in the free community and soak up as much as you want to because it's a time and repetition thing. You have to do it over and over and over again for it to set in. That rhymed too. Wow, I need to go to the studio. Right now I'm on fire. I think I should call Jay-Z, Nas, somebody. You see, I'm so 90s. But anyway, I am so 90s. But I love being 90s. How about you? If you're younger, if you weren't even born in the 90s, or if you were just born like my daughter, if you were just born in the 90s, you might not be as 90s as I am, but I'm going to educate you on the 90s. That's just let me say, I'll give you that for free. I'll give you a little 90s education, more free than the regular free financial therapy I'm going to give, a little 90s education. All right, let's wrap this up. So over the 8 weeks, you're going to get free financial therapy. You're going to get weekly discussion forums, and you're going to get ask me anything. You'll be able to ask me anything about money mastery, about emotional mastery, about business strategies for your service-based business. That is what we do in the More Than Therapy community. Got it? So what should you do? Go to that website, register. If you've been watching this for 16 minutes and you have not done that, what are you waiting on? You know what? If you haven't done it yet, don't do it. Don't do it because you are not ready. You are not ready to receive. I cursed at you in my brain, but I did not tell you what I just said, because if you're not ready to receive, you really wasn't ready for what I was about to say. And I have learned to not say everything. Well, I have really learned that. I just got lucky in this moment. But I did curse at you, and I was like, you so mad at you, because you got to get ready to receive. Okay, so go get ready to receive and then watch this video again, because just the thing that I gave you earlier, those 4 things, just being able to identify that was you receiving, and you did it. Now, whether you blocked it and said, no, or maybe I was just planting a seed for you, that is fine. Jump into the community and I'll water that seed, because you got to get clear on your pricing. You cannot be desperate and guilty and greedy and shameful. No, it's too much. You will not be able to grow your business if you're feeling all that emotion. I want to show you how to master your emotion. And the only thing you're going to feel is logical about your pricing. That's it. That's all. Did I tell you that it's Financial Awareness Month? Yeah. So you need to get some awareness about the emotions you feel about your money, and you need to do it today. And the field work that I want to give you is right here on the screen. Get clear on your pricing. Now you can do that on your own, alone, without me, or you can do it with me in a community. You can have a guide and a group journeying with you to getting clear and logical on your pricing. So you're in the right place, especially if you're a service-based business owner, and even more if you are a financial advisor or private practice business owner. I am so glad that we had this time together. I am so glad, because if we didn't have this time together, you know what would happen? You would still be unaware of your emotions around your money. But what's most important is that you're starting to think about the negative emotions you have about money. You're starting to think about them. And because you're starting to think about it, you're going to do something about it. And the first thing I want you to do is to join the free community. And if you don't do anything while you're there, if just join the Tuesday class at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every week, just get your 8 weeks of free financial therapy. Receive. All right. I'm usually not this. That wasn't true. I am this bossy all the time. And I was going to lie to you, and I should not do that. I should tell you the truth all the time. I am this bossy, and I do it a lot. but it works because you need to be bossed around sometimes. You're sitting around complaining about not making enough money. And the reason is because you don't have a guide. You don't have somebody telling you to stop complaining and start training. Oh, I'm mic drop. Come in this community, and I'm gonna train you how to stop complaining. You're gonna get trained on how to stop complaining. Wait. You're gonna get training on how to stop complaining. Yeah, that's dope. All right, tweet that. Get training on how to stop complaining. Tweet it, do Instagram it, all the things. You can just give me credit. All right, you want training on how to stop complaining? Join the 8-week free financial therapy classes in the More Than Therapy community. And I'm out. Peace. Oh, that was so 90s.